Alright, so I made myself a little fairy garden, and I'm gonna show you guys how I did it. This is the space that I'm working with. This is what it looks like to start with, and I think I'm gonna make it at the base of that tree. So I'm just starting by picking up sticks, setting them down in my little pile. I go out and get more sticks, set them down in the pile, find myself some pine cones, set them down in the pile. And then the camera angle is not very good right here, but what I'm doing is sorting all of my sticks into different sizes. So once I've done that, this is what all of our little piles look like, all nice and neat. And then to start with, I'm picking up that little bird's nest, and I want to use it as kind of the centerpiece of my land art. And then I get the smallest pile of sticks, and I'm going to start working on my first little fairy house. I decided that I wanted it to be in kind of like a log cabin shape, kind of like this right here. That did not end up working out for me. As you can see right here, I just end up taking it apart. So I decided I was going to go for a little bit more of a teepee shape. As you can see, it doesn't work out super fast because they keep falling over, and eventually I figured out that I needed to stick the bottom of every single stick in the ground, not just the bottom of the middle stick, and it ended up making it way more stable. So here's what our first one looked like all done. I'm starting on the second one. I'm just doing the same exact thing that I did on the first one, sticking sticks in the ground and leaning them against each other. So after I'm happy with what that second one looks like, I just move right along to the third one, make it look exactly like the other two, and then I end up with 3 of that little size, and then I start with the 2 bigger sizes. So once again, same thing, stick in one stable stick and stick and lean. So my idea was to make 3 of the smaller size and then 2 of this size that I'm making right now, and then 1 bigger one. So I'm finishing up my first one of this size. The second one was a little bit harder because it was so windy, so it kept tipping over, which was frustrating. But eventually we got it, and it was all fine. That's the second one. And then I start on the big one. I decided I wanted to move that nest and actually put the big one at the base of the tree right there. That was a bad stick choice, so I changed the center stick and then just got to work on the biggest one. I knew I wanted this one to be like the widest one, have the most surrounding it, just was because it was like the big main building, I guess. So this is me finishing up that big one, and then this is what it looked like with all of the teepee structures completed, my 3, 2, 1. After that, I started making my center point, so I'm arranging my pine cones in a little spiral and then just placing that bird's nest right in the middle of them. I then still had those longer sticks to use, so I decided I was going to make myself a little outline of our fairy village, just so it like stood out a little bit more. So this is just me placing all those sticks around, and this is what it looks like. And this is where I decided that I wanted to add some color, so I went and found some like fallen petals. And when I stepped back to go put them in the nest, I crushed the house. So I rebuilt it, and then I just placed that tiny pine cone and those little petals in that nest for a cute little centerpiece. Added a little bit of color, and I ended up being really happy with how my fairy village turned out in the end. And then, since part of this is leaving no trace, I'm just picking up all of these sticks, disassembling the whole village, just teepee by teepee. It was actually super easy to pick up, which I was grateful for. This is my wood pile I was so proud of. And there is my cleaned up station. I didn't want to just toss the sticks back out into the yard, so luckily they had a little wood house, and I just put the sticks in there. Here's a little bonus content of some toy fairies in my fairy garden. Hope you enjoyed.